Welcome back, everyone, to our Making It Fun career mode series here in NASCAR Heat 3. Our first couple of videos focused on the partial season that we run in the dirt, just to get some hot seats out of the way and get our feet wet a little bit. But now we've come to, as you can see on the screen, our first big decision. Do we want to start our own team, or do we want to try to sign with a different team that we had completed hot seat offers, or maybe another team that has made us an offer based on our performance in those hot seat drives? Well, I've already stated my whole point in doing this career mode series is to start our own team and just have fun with that and see just how strong we want to get our team to get the finishes that we want without getting a whole bunch of victories. In fact, I would be okay with really no victories for the most part. All right, so join a team. We're going to go start a team. And then, let's see, our agent is letting us know that it's going to cost $250 to register a name and a logo. And this is the first time that I was a little disappointed with the game's direction. Okay, so as I hit continue here, we have only pre-made options available to us. And I was hoping that we could name our own team and do some things, maybe choose our team logo and things like that. But we only have these few options. And there are some, nice enough options here, but I was really wanting to get more in depth with this. Who knows, maybe in the future. So I'm going to go with, I guess, Steel Forge Racing. Really doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me which one. So we'll go with Steel Forge. Okay, and he's found us a few companies willing to sponsor us. Unfortunately, we're not going to make very much money on sponsorship because we're a brand new team and our performance is likely to be lacking. So, okay, we've got our first opportunity here to see who do we want to go with. Do we want to go with McCabe's Auto Salvage, or do we want to go with Glovka Construction? Interesting names we have here. I like the Auto Salvage. That's going to be the most lucrative. Let me run some math here right quick. So $946 per race, 14 races. Yeah, that comes up to over 13,000 all by itself. And then our $731 per race is going to be not too bad, but we're going to be better off, I think, with the Auto Salvage, which I think this looks better on the dirt car anyway, to have Auto Salvage, because that just seems very, very down home. And it seems like a lot of the sponsors that I've seen at the local tracks. Okay, so now he's letting us know we need to buy our first car. This is where money is going to become an issue. We're going to have to hire employees. We're going to have to buy a car, all those sorts of things. And, of course, we don't have very much money. Because although we did well in our hot seats, we didn't get a whole lot of money. So we have $9,900, you can see at the bottom of the screen. And we need to buy a car. So we can buy a short track car, a normal, or a road course car. Now, I can go ahead and tell you, the road course for the dirt means absolutely nothing to me. In fact, I probably will not even be recording that race. And I have no desire to run a road course dedicated chassis. It just seems like a waste of money unless I really wanted to focus on the dirt cars. So really the choice for us is, do we want to go a normal chassis, which would be good at places like Bristol or Eldora, or do we want to go short track, which is good at Charlotte, Drebin, Texas, and Vegas? I'm going to go short track because for the first little bit here, we're going to be down on horsepower, which is going to really take us out of contention at places like Eldora or Bristol. So I'm hoping that by choosing the short track car and just really focusing on that for right now, we'll get off to some better finishes there, and then we'll just deal with whatever we have to for the other tracks. Okay, so we need to continue building our team, and we need to hire an employee. Now, I don't want just one employee. I want as many as they'll give me, which per car is 2. So we can have 2 employees here at the beginning with only 1 car in the garage. So do we want to hire somebody like William Scott, who only has a 1 on the engine, so basically no abilities right now, and then train him to be better? Or do we want to go with somebody more like Cameron over here, who has some abilities in various different things? I'm going to go with William Scott here, just because he's cheap and we can really set what we want him to be good at. Okay, so this is our last chance to make changes. I am absolutely ready to continue. Okay, we're going to look over the car's appearance. Now, if you've been paying any attention to the thumbnails, you already have a pretty good idea what the car looks like, at least at the beginning. We might play around with this as the season goes on, but this is what we're going to be starting with. This is the car that you see in those thumbnail pictures. We're going to be running the car number 99. And again, we might swap that up a little bit here and there as we go forward. Okay, we need to get started working on the cars. And this is where it lets us know sort of how this whole process works. We got the 3 areas of engine, aero, and suspension, and we can put a maximum of 1 employee per chassis in each of those areas. So a maximum of 3 employees per car. And all right, those skills we're not going to worry a whole lot about. I see no particular reason to have people good in multiple things because it generally doesn't come down to that. Okay, so we can improve our equipment and get better tracks overall. And then this is one of the most important things. This is what makes it kind of fun over time, is that every time you run a race, you can see on the left-hand side, 96, 98, and 97 in each of the 3 categories. Well, as soon as the race is over, it goes back to 70. 70 is your baseline. Okay, let's go ahead and get through that. And before we adjust any work plans, we got some work we need to do. So if we want to improve our equipment, we can purchase another chassis. If we want to improve our equipment, though, let's see how much that's going to take. Right now, our maximum in each of the 3 categories is 75. So our employees can go up to 5 in each of those categories and still be able to help the car. If we go up to 80, that's going to cost us $750. And then if we go up to 85, you can see the price continues to increase. And then another big jump to 90. And then, of course, as you get closer to 100, it's going to take quite a bit of money to get us all the way to 100. So we're going to back off of that. But I want to start out at, let's start out at 80 there and 80 here. That'll cost us $1,500. But that should, as we work our way through, give us an opportunity to do some things. Let's start out training this guy. And okay, you can see $375 will get us, I think, 4 points there on the engine. Let's go ahead and get him to 10. That'll get us to 80, and that'll cost $3,300. So that'll be good. That'll get us some sort of engine power, because if you've run any career mode races, you know engine power is everything. A 70 level engine is terrible, and it will have 0 speed in it. So you need as much engine horsepower as you can get. So we're going to start out with 10 on him, and then we'll try to hire another employee. And let's see what we can get. $400. Okay, this guy's not bad. And I'm looking for somebody for suspension. I'll tell you what, we're going to keep with our trend of hiring the base level guys, $20. Now, unfortunately, these guys don't cost you anything from here on out. We've already paid what we're going to pay for them through training and as well as hiring them, so they don't have a per week or per race cost. So let's go ahead and train this guy on suspension, and we're basically just going to use the rest of our money here and see what we can get out of him. Okay, so we can get him up to 7 on suspension. Excellent. Okay, so right now we're not going to, since we only have 1 chassis, we can't hire 3 employees, which seems a little odd since there's 3 slots. But we can't do that just yet. We'd need to purchase another chassis to get there. So let's go ahead into adjust work plan. And you can see in the top left-hand corner, we only have our 1 chassis, and it's at all 70s. And at the bottom of the screen is the important part. You see that we're going to start off with 2 short tracks at Charlotte and Drebin. Then we're going to move on to what they're calling a normal track at Bristol, and then we're back to the short tracks with Texas. That's why I wanted to choose a short track chassis to begin with. I want to try to get us the best finishes we can, and early on they're going to be short tracks, and I think we're going to be in our best shape to do this, and we'll add more, at least 1 more chassis as we go along. So our maximum on engine is 80. Let's go ahead and assign. Of course, we got 2 options here, and it's clear which one we want to use there. Nobody for aerodynamics right now. We're not going to worry about that. And then we can put Hector on the suspension, and that's going to get us to a 77. So we're going to have an 80, 75, 77 car to start with. Okay, that's what I want. And so we're going to back out of that screen and then choose Start Work Plan and Accept. And you can see our chassis are now where they should be. So 80, 70, and 77. I think I said 75 earlier. But 80, 70, and 77 is what we have. We're out of money, so that must mean it is time for our first race. So he's letting us know we're done with our team duties right now. It is time to get this season started. And okay, so because this is our first season in the dirt cars, that means the next season up is the Camping World Truck Series. So we're going to be on the hot seat short list there. So we'll be getting some different offers for that. Let's see, it could be as few as, I think it was four hot seat offers that we got in our previous season in the dirt cars. So I would estimate we get at least four and hopefully a few more as the season goes on to give us some opportunities to drive the trucks a little bit. So now as we look at sort of the top right hand corner of the screen and just sort of work our way down a little bit, it shows the number of wins we have in this season, what race we're on out of 14 for a full season, and then our points position. But then below that gives us an opportunity to see sort of what we need to be looking toward as far as cost for the Camping World Truck Series. And it shows new team cost is $42,120. So quite expensive compared to the numbers that we've been looking at so far. So we're going to have to be judicious with the money that we spend upgrading our dirt team. But I think we're going to be fine over the course of 14 races. I'm hoping that we can get good enough finishes to keep the money flowing. And then as we move from the Camping World Truck Series to the Xfinity Series, it will become even more expensive. And then finally, once you get to the Cup Series, it will be the most expensive and probably take us the most time in order to upgrade our car and our staff and so on. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the grind of trying to get better equipment, better employees, and so on. And I'm hoping that takes us some time so that, 3 or 4 races into the season, we're not dominating once again. All right, so let's go ahead and choose next race. Okay, we need to set up an incentive contract. Now, I have no idea what our performance is going to be like here at the beginning of the season, but this gives you an idea. We've had this in previous games in the NASCAR Heat series, so this isn't really anything new. You choose how aggressive you want to be with your finishing position requirements, and that will get you more money the more aggressive you are, if you're able to fulfill those. Also, they're letting us know we're in 12th place right now, and we can get some better payouts as we do better along the way. And of course, that is exactly what we're looking for as well. All right, so 2 top 22s only gives us $400. 2 top 20s, that's only a couple of positions in 3 races. So 2 out of 3 races, we need to run pretty good. Bristol is not likely to be a good race for us because we don't have a chassis for it, and our car is not going to be that good. Wow, this is going to be close. I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 top 20s simply because it's so close to top 22s, and the payout is so much greater. Let's go ahead and go with that. If we don't get it, then we don't get it. But now, looks like it's time for the race. All right, folks, it is race time here at the Mountain Dew 100. Of course, we're running a little bit shorter races right now as we get used to things, and I'm really interested to run longer races, but I want to make sure that we've got our car where it needs to be and all those things before we get into longer races. We're going to be starting 19th on the grid. And it looks like actually we're not going to be starting 19th because we're on the outside. So we're actually 18th. But that at least gives me some sort of hope that maybe, oh, look at that. Beating and banging already. And these guys are going by us left and right on the inside, which is not terribly surprising. We are way down on horsepower. In fact, when I compare I think I ran 2 laps in practice. when I compare those lap times to what I can run with a fully upgraded car, it's quite bad how different it is. All right, so far we are hanging in there in about 19th. We got 25 lap race. So our goal is to get a top 20. And that seems to be achievable right now. We'll see what we can do. Ultimately, we're going to have to stick to the bottom because the outside would put us in a position where I don't think we have enough horsepower to carry the speed that we would need to on the high side. So hopefully we won't be forced to find out. All right, up to 17th now. And hopefully we can start to get some distance between us and those behind us. All right, car's handling pretty good. One of the things I like to do in career mode is not really do much of any practice. I just load up a setup. In this case, this is one of the tracks that I've released a setup for. So I generally make a few adjustments based on where our car is in the upgrades. In this case, I needed to tighten it up and also adjust the gearing since we don't have enough horsepower to use the same gear. So just a couple of adjustments to tighten this thing up a little bit, adjust the RPMs, and we're off and running. All right, so we're up to 16th. And so far, so good. Again, with our goal being the top 20, this is the kind of start to the race we need in order to keep us going. Because unlike the hot seat offers, ooh, look at this, 3 wide. And this is so much better racing than what we had when we were lapping the entire field earlier in that previous race. Oh, we got a caution out. All right, so do we pit? No, we're not going to pit. There's no reason to pit here. We're not going to run out of fuel for sure, and tires are a non-issue. So let's go ahead and advance to the restart. We're going to be restarting 15th.
We're going green.
I didn't see what caused the caution there. Thankfully, it wasn't us. So we're going to try to race as clean as possible here. But as I've mentioned before, the beating and banging is allowed to some extent and even really expected on the dirt. As close proximity as we are in on all these corners, particularly on these short tracks. Okay, car's still a little bit looser than I would prefer. They didn't quite tighten it up enough. Oh, looks like we got somebody to our inside there. He bumped us up and out of the way. Good move on his part. All right, hopefully he'll give us enough room to get through the corner, though. All right, so it looks to me like with our 80, 70, and what, 77, I think it was, for suspension. Looks like with those numbers, we can get into the top 15 here, and it seems like we're around the cars that are running about our same speed right now. So that gives us an idea of where we are. So if we continue to improve the car, we've got an idea of what we should expect as far as running positions. All right, up into, ouch, somebody got into our rear and put us into the wall there. But this is the fun racing right here in the pack. Getting out front, leading those laps is not fun. Not for me anyway. Some people might enjoy runaway victories, but I do not. I much prefer where we're at right now and me trying to focus on maintaining what we've got and also seeing if I have enough speed to get to the guys in front of us. Because if we're in 13th, I want to be in 12th. If we're in 12th, I want to be in 11th. So, oh, a little too loose there. We lost some speed. Yeah, rear end's just driving the car a little bit too much for me to get the traction I need off the corner. All right, so just a few laps left. Looks like there is some furious racing just ahead of us. Trying to give this guy on the bottom plenty of room. He hasn't gotten by us yet. All right, is this it? Yes, final lap. And boy, look at that racing in front of us. I really want to get up there and be part of that. But we're not going to quite have enough time to get there. But a great finish. 13th position, I will certainly take that. Speed rating is going to be really low, and that's kind of the point. So not bad at all. It also reminds me with our driver names, you guys had some great options in the comment section, so I thank you for that. Those are greatly appreciated. One of those did stick out to me. As soon as I saw it, I thought, yep, this is a good one. And we'll be changing our race driver name here very shortly. But first, let's take a look. All right, so 15.7 was the fastest lap from Dylan, so not bad there. We were certainly not in any danger of getting close to that. Let's go ahead and finish the event, and let's see what kind of payout we get. That's the most important part. So we'll bring home a total of $17,830, and we gained 11 fans. We'll take it. Some more family members apparently showed up to the racetrack, and that's going to be really good for us. Oh, and it looks like an opportunity for a hot seat drive in the trucks. So All Out Motorsports could use some help in driving the number 7 truck at Atlanta. Very nice. Getting a top 22 finish, and we might consider working with you in the future. All right. This has me concerned because a top 22 finish, and there are, what, I think 36 trucks in the truck series. So we're supposed to get to the top 22 in a 3-star vehicle. I'm not sure that's even doable, but we'll actually, for now, hit race later on that. And let's see, let's go back one more time already. Just as we look at the left-hand side of the screen, look at the purse for this race compared to what we've seen in the dirt cars. So certainly, as the costs go up, we should have the opportunity to make even more money and keep up with those cost increases. All right, let's go ahead and let's see, where do we want to go? Let's go to career mode, make sure we're still in legend. We're doing 25% race. That all looks good. I like the 25% and looking forward to doing more. We've got yellows on. Okay, everything looks good there. And all right, let's go ahead and head to Atlanta. All right, here we go. It is time to start the race. We're going to be starting in 25th. Aside from any of these adjustments, anybody going to the back based on this, that's going to put us on the inside, which is good because we are way off on speed. And that's just being in a 3-star truck, which is part of the fun. So can we get to the top 22 from our 25th starting position? I have no idea. That's what we're here to find out. 32-lap race. And that should be plenty enough time for us to do whatever we're going to do. And already I can see our wonderful horsepower coming in as these guys pull us here at the beginning as we come up to speed.
Got one outside now.
So as is normal for me, let's see, I'm going to be, oh man. All right, he lifted a lot more than I was expecting there. You don't have to lift at all at this track in any of the cars. But for some reason, he decided he needed to right there.
Still there.
So that gives me hope.
Car on the outside now, outside. All right, clear outside.
All right, so I'm just going to try to protect the bottom right now and just see what we've got. It looks like we do have a little bit of speed if we can get position, but our horsepower is not doing us any favors. Yeah, I'm running half throttle in the center of the corner trying to stay off of this guy. So I really need these guys in front to to go somewhere. We may have to try the outside.
Inside.
Oh,
Inside,
look at,
inside.
oh, holy cow. All right, so I guess we'll do that. We'll just get moved out of the way. So now we've got our work cut out for us. We're now at the very back of the field. So 31 instead of 36. I thought there were 36 trucks that started these races. But only 31. We need to get up to 22nd.
Stay high, stay high. Still
All right,
there.
this is going to be stressful because we are about 2.5 seconds per lap off the pace of a fully upgraded truck. To give you an idea of how slow we are. We are really slow.
That car there's on your inside. It's inside. Clear all the way to the bottom.
Okay,
Clear
we're following
down
the
low.
African squirrel right now. I like that. Why can't we get some sponsors like that? That's the kind of sponsor I want.
Still there.
All right, so we're in 29th for now. We're just going to keep this up.
Tight there, driver.
I want to get back to the bottom when I can as it gets more spread out because we don't have enough speed to run out here for as many positions as we're going to need. But we'll get what we can out here and then move to the bottom when it becomes available. But right now I'm just going to try to keep the throttle to the floor and try to pass as many cars as we can.
Careful. Still there.
All right, so this is back roughly where we were before we got moved out of the way.
Keep hitting your mark, man. You're getting better. Clear.
So the
all the way.
AI are really aggressive at most every track, really. Some are a little bit worse than others, but for the most part, these guys are really aggressive.
Tight there, driver. Hold this line.
And they will give you no room, and then if you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
Stay up high here. Stay up
So-
high. Careful now. Still there. Inside. Inside.
All right, so we're pulling them through the corners. We got corner speed on them, but we do not have speed on the straightaways. We're up to 25th now, so back to where we started. And let's see if we can run down this pack in front of us of 3 cars, because that would certainly get us a lot closer to where we need to be overall in this race. And in a situation like this, where you can run it wide open and you're way down on horsepower and all that kind of thing, it becomes almost like a restrictor plate track. You just try not to turn the wheel any more than you have to. You try not to scrub off any more speed than you have to. All those kind of things really come into play because we got to maximize everything we've
Hit your
got.
mark, man. You're getting better.
All right, we are indeed catching these guys, and we got plenty of time. 32 laps is plenty enough time to do what we're going to be able to do, however far that is, that we can manage to get up there. At some point, we're just going to run out of speed to make any more positions. I'm just hoping we can get to at least position 22 before that happens.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
All right, I'm going to see if we can make this pass on the outside. Let's see if he's got enough speed to hold us at bay on the outside. I'm hoping he doesn't, but I'm thinking he probably does. Because we are about at our limit of speed, I think, with the guys that we're running around right now. All right, I'm trying to squeeze him down as much as I can in the corners because I need to run as low as I can in the corner. Okay, 24th. Oh, I can just hear the engine. I'm trying not to turn the wheel. I can just hear the engine bogging down. Wow. So we're going to try to run down Jennifer Jo Cobb in front of us. And it looks like I might have actually tightened up the truck a little bit too much. I figured we're going to have some close and very tight side-by-side racing, so I wanted the car to be tight enough that it wasn't jumping out from under me. But I might have gotten it actually a little bit too tight. We're scrubbing off a little bit too much speed in the corners. But overall, not too bad. I think we're getting most of what the truck's got. I had to guess at the gearing because I wanted to be around 8,000 RPMs, but not really too much over that. So we're pretty good on that. And that's part of the fun for me, is just trying to guess what adjustments I need to make for the fact that we're in a 3-star ride as opposed to a fully upgraded 5-star.
Top lane straight here. Use it if you need it. Top lane straight.
All right, so we're able to move into 23rd, and now Jennifer Jo Cobb is standing between us and where we need to be. So let's see if we've got enough to get past her. Oh wow, we're definitely gaining on her in the corner. Let's try to tuck in behind her and get any kind of draft that might be here on the straights. Swing out wide on entry. And wow, okay, I didn't make up anything on her there. So this is going to be a struggle. We are pushed to our limit to get to where we need to be. Okay, we're killing her in turns 3 and 4. So I'm trying, once again, not to turn the wheel any more than I have to. Alright, yep, I can't do anything with her. I was hoping I might be able to gain a little bit on her in turns 1 and 2. But that didn't work. Alright, we're right there to her. If we could get a little bit on her in turns 1 and 2, I think we could pull off the pass in 3 and 4. But I've got to be able to get to her and stay. Yeah, I can't stay with her in turns 1 and 2. She's got me there. Alright, good news is we might both be able to pass 1 or 2 trucks that are immediately in front of us. Now that would be good. The AI don't like to pass each other a whole lot. You'll see them, they generally ride in line around each other most of the time. Alright, so we're about halfway through the race now, and so we've got plenty of time to try to work on this speed and see. This is where we're going to be able to do it. If we're going to be able to make the pass, I'm hoping that the 68 truck is going to slow her down just enough that I can get to her outside, particularly in turns 3 and 4. Got there a little quicker than I wanted to that time. That didn't work out. Alright, but she's going to try to pull to the inside. Let's see if we can go with her.
Stay low, still there.
Alright, so we're able to make that pass. Let's hope we can make it stick. Let's see, I would love to continue gaining more spots. You can see now we're gaining on her a little bit through 1 and 2. I'm having to go a little bit to the high side to try to make sure, just in case she lifts a little bit more than I'm expecting. Alright, and as has been the case for the last several laps, we're able to pull up beside her in turns 3 and 4, but that's as far as I can get right now. So we're going to need some help from that truck immediately in front of us. Oh wow, so she pulls up maybe to block. So she goes a little bit higher to block this time. And let's see if I can... Nope, I can't quite get to her inside. I didn't have enough power to get there.
Careful now, still there.
And once again, I can get right to her. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything with her. Alright, the good news is, when I look in my mirror, we're pulling away from the truck in 23rd. That's good, because that gives me a little bit of room to work with. Even though it's not going to increase our payout if we're able to move forward, it's still going to be a huge help because, hey, we're racers. We want to get all we can get. And if we can finish 1 spot better than we are right now, then we certainly want to try to do that. All right, so the 22 truck is not as fast as we or Jennifer Jo Cobb are. So we're going to try to maybe use that 22 as a pick. But I would also be just fine with following Jennifer Jo Cobb through, and we both pass this truck.
Still there.
All right, I'm trying to hang out here on the outside as best I can and hoping, let's see, is Jennifer Jo Cobb going to get to his inside? No. All right, that opens up the door for us. So if we can hang here going into turn 1 and then stay there, then we should be able to make a lot of headway in turns 3 and 4 again. But unfortunately, we are just out of steam. We don't quite have the horsepower we need to get there and stay there. But truck's handling very good. It's no problem to be wide open at this particular track, which is why it worries me that these guys are having to lift so much, particularly back in the pack. It's good for us, though. Yeah, we can get right back to her. We really need her to pull to the inside of the 22 truck. That's really going to be what's going to do it for us.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
You never know. I'm going to keep trying this outside because we might go through that corner and the 22 truck slow down a lot more than normal, and we might be able to make the pass. But that's what it's going to take in order for us to do that up here on the outside. We just don't have the speed to make it happen otherwise. But the good news is, as the laps wind down, we're in the position we need to be in, so we're okay.
Need you to stay on the bottom right here. All right, careful now. Still there. Still there.
All right, so I'm having to back off the throttle right there because Jennifer Jo Cobb was backing off. All right, so we're up to 21st. Again, trying to get as many positions as we can. And this is where we pull away from the guy behind us. All right, and I'm going to try to stick as close to her through 1 and 2 as I can. Oh wow. I was not expecting her to lift like that. She's been really good through turn 1 and 2, and that caught me by surprise. She definitely lifted more than I was expecting. All right, 5 more laps, and you can see from the mirror we are pulling away from position 22, so that is a very good sign. And it looks like we've got basically a 20th to 22nd place car. That's basically what we've got with a 3-star on the maximum AI difficulty in career mode. So if we continue to get 3-star hot seat offers at tracks like this that require a lot of horsepower, since we're running it wide open, it's all about horsepower. And wow, it's going to be tough because we were just able to get where we needed to be. All right, at this point, we're basically just going to be following her home unless she makes a mistake and gives us an opportunity to pass, but I'm certainly not going to try to force anything. And it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch any more trucks in front of us. And we can get right to her.
A couple more turns, 2 more, 2 to go.
But unfortunately, I can't really do anything with her once I get there. She's just fast enough in turn 1 and 2 that I can't stay beside her. She pulls away from me. And now all that distance I make up in turns 3 and 4. But not enough to get by her. Let's see if we can get to her inside here. Can we make
All right,
it?
let's go. 1 lap. White flag is out.
Could not stick there. And you can see she cut me off going into the corner there because I was right there. I lifted in expectation of that very thing because they do that at most every track. Even if you are up beside them, they will pull down on you. So, and try to cut you off. So that, I expected that to happen, but it doesn't matter. We got where we needed to get. So the hot seat is a success. Wow, lapped all the way up through 24. It's only 23 cars on the lead lap. And thankfully, we were one of them. So points won't matter for us simply because we're not running the full season. So we won't worry too much about point standings, but we will get that nice payout. Yeah, 31.6 for the fastest lap. We are going to be nowhere near that for a little while, but if we had a fully upgraded car, we would destroy that. All right, so a very nice payout there, 17 more fans. And we'll take that $12,000 payout. Very nice. Now that takes us up to a little over 30,000 now. So Justin Haley, wishing us luck in finding a team. It's very competitive out there, that is for sure. Especially at the level we're at right now. All right, so that's going to bring us to our next race, which is going to be Drebin. We'll do that in our next episode. But of course, now that we've got a little bit of money, we will have an opportunity to train our employees a little bit more, maybe improve our chassis a little bit, maybe even purchase another chassis. But all of those are decisions we're going to make next time. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we continue our Making It Fun gameplay series in NASCAR Heat 3.